Hi friends, this is Nishant and I welcome you all to this video where I'm going to announce the admission details for TIC 8.0. As you all know that we are already delayed, so let me first talk about why. I've not been well for quite some time, lower back issue and some disc herniation and disc protrusion, slip disc issue in my lower back as well as in my neck. So, been in little trouble for last few months, I would say, but very intense over last few days or at least a couple of weeks. So, though every year we start the batch in April, and let me tell you, we open once a year, right? You all know that. It's not that admissions are welcome all throughout the year. Admissions only happen once a year, and generally that month is April. Actually, last year we did it in May, but generally it happens in April. So this year in April, I was not ready because I was not feeling good. The thing is that, when we start a new batch, a lot of energy goes into it. A lot of intensity goes into it. You will see when you'll be there. And plus, there are so many batches which are at different stages of learning. So I thought, in fact, the idea crossed by my mind not to start TIC 8.0. It crossed my mind that we'll see in 2027. But then, the team is like that, people are mailing and everything. So I said, okay, let's do it. So that's why I'm making this video like this. I'm not doing it, in a proper way or something. I just tell you a little bit about TIC, about TFS, about the whole structure, though you all know that. And every year we have made an introductory video, an introductory TIC admission video, so you can check that out as well. In fact, I would insist that you must check that out. So TFS, as you all know, is Train for Success, right? We are not into advisory business. We are not into fund management business. We are not into tips or calls or stock-based things. We are a technical analysis learning academy. That's all there is. Just pure learning, concepts and concepts and concepts. Versions of those concepts, second degree versions of those concepts, just detailed concepts and mental models. And we don't even differentiate in terms of that we will teach this or that. We teach the framework, right? So more so, I actually wanted to say this, that okay, this part is clear that we are not an advisory or a fund management business or whatever goes around. None of that. Purely a learning platform, education platform, and in education specifically technical analysis. Within that, it's not a strategy course, where people say that 5 price action techniques or 2 RSI strategies or 3 MACD methods or 4 candlestick techniques. None of that. TIC is primarily into teaching the framework which is applicable onto every instrument, be it cash segment, be it futures, be it options. Though I don't suggest that to beginners, but I'm just telling for the sake of information, that framework, and which is applicable to all styles of trading, be it intraday, be it scalping, be it short term, mid term, long term, whatever. So it's not a swing trading program, it's not an intraday trading program, it's not an investing program, it's not a candlestick strategy program, it's not a moving average program, it's the whole framework. Having said that, TIC started way back in 2019 as an effort to intensify and concentrate my efforts. In 2019, it's been 7 years now. And over 7 years, many batches, countless batches. So 2019, October we started. We took first batch in October 2019, second batch in November, third batch in December, fourth batch in January. Then next year, 2020, we took a batch in July, then August, then September. Different batches, they are at different stages of learning. But then I realized we can't do it like this. Actually, initially when we started TIC, the whole idea was that I'll share my day-to-day concepts with you, my how I do things, my mental models. But when TIC started, I realized that we are not even on the same terminology level, right? I'm saying something else, they are understanding something else. So then I decided that let me make videos, let me make audios, let me make posts to convey concepts, so that at least the student and the teacher are on the same page. And that's how it began. So I would actually like to appreciate TIC batch 1, because they just joined out of faith, leap of faith. It was a leap of faith on their part. They didn't know that what will happen. In fact, they were ready if nothing happens. So they need to be appreciated. But then as we progressed and I understood the intensity of whole thing, then we decided that we would open only once a year, right? So ever since then, we opened in April 2021, then April 2022, April 2023, 24, 25, May, now 26, June, right? Why? Because it's hassle. It's a hassle. There are so many batches. All of them are at different, different levels of learning. It is very difficult to teach them all at the same time. So, what we do eventually is that we merge batches when they get on the same level. Anyway, that's a different thing. So for example, TIC 1.0, it had 4 batches, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then TIC 2.0 had 3 batches, batch 5, batch 6, batch 7. Now this is TIC 8.0, for which I am talking to you. This is one part. Second thing is that TIC, as you all know, since it is not a strategy course, it is not a sure shot methods, because there are no sure shot methods. I think anybody who's listening to this, watching this video or listening to me here, must have watched all my videos, and he or she must already know what I stand for, right? That I talk a lot about psychology, I talk a lot about personality development, I talk a lot about why trading is not easy. I talk a lot about, in fact, that you shouldn't do trading, because majority of people are not made for it. I talk a lot about it. In fact, if you see one of the introductory videos of TIC, it says do not join TIC because it is not going to be easy. Internet, YouTubers, they have made you believe that trading is easy. They have made you believe that anybody can trade. It's not true. It takes a different kind of temperament to achieve the mental models required to succeed in trading. So just as not everybody can be a fighter, not everybody can be a great swimmer, not everybody can be a great cricketer, not everybody can be a great musician, not everybody can be a great trader. So this part is clear, right? I'm not enticing you here, I'm not seducing you here. In fact, I never wanted to start 8.0 in the first place. The whole idea here is to tell you that since it's not a strategy course, it's not a short-term, I'll give you 5 techniques kind of thing. It's a perpetual program, subscription-based, where people join in. So we have always kept 6 year and 6 month and annual subscription. In fact, now it doesn't even make sense to put up 6 month subscription. But let me put it, because there are many people who join in TIC hoping for a technique, hoping for a shortcut, hoping for a sure shot method. I actually would want them to filter out in the first 6 months. So that's why. So one is 6 months, one is 1 year, and it's pay as you go model. You do not own the content. The content is delivered to you in the form of posts, videos, audios, day-to-day interaction, which starts after a while. And you have access to that, all of that. You have access to me 24 hours. Questions, queries, answers, and there is no timing to things. Anyway, I'll come on to that. So it is subscription model. So as long as you stay in, it's like joining a gym, that when as long as you keep on being a member, you can use all the machines there. It's that, and it's been working good for us. In fact, I would share a number with you. Almost 89 to 90% of TIC 1.0, remember 2019, is still with TIC. The question comes, why? Have they still not learned? Have they still not understood how markets work? Yes, they have. See, the thing is, if you haven't yet learned trading, then why would you leave TIC? And if you have learned trading, then why would you leave TIC? Because then the annual cost of TIC just means a trade for you. Then even your stop loss is bigger than the annual fees of the program. And over the years, they have made a fraternity, they have made friendships, they have made a family, amongst their batchmates. Why would they leave that? So 89-90% of TIC 1.0, 2.0 still remains in TIC. Now we call them TIC Infinity. First few batches, we call them TIC Infinity. Now coming on to my what I actually want to say here is, I truly want to say, do not join. The reason being that majority of you have succumbed to the idea that trading is easy, that learning to trade is easy. It's not. It's not. Intense work would have to be done on my part and on your part. My part is okay. I've been doing it for last so many years, but I'm not sure about your part. So if you think that you can learn casually, no, you might not be. You might not be able to do that. So, if you join TIC thinking that, and then that doesn't happen, there's no point, right? So that's why I'm stating upfront who should join TIC. Those who can work very hard, those who understand that trading is a skill which can be very rewarding, hence it would be very demanding. Something which can reward you intensely or immensely cannot be easy to learn, right? It cannot be linear. It will always be multidimensional. It would always be abstract. So that part. The ability to go through long videos, the ability to go through long posts, the ability to go through long audios. I do audios, random, impromptu audios, just like that. I take my phone, press the record button, and I start talking about something. It might go on for 1 hour 30 minutes. You must have the stamina to go through that, right? So this is what I wanted to convey, that you must have that feeling that you are preparing for something. And do not expect miracles that in first 3 months. No, in fact, for the first 6 months, I would want you to be away from trading. I would want you, those who are complete beginners, very good. Those who have been trading, I would want them to stop trading for a while, because then, it would mess up the learning and what you are doing. You won't be able to leave what you are doing. How would you learn things? How would you unlearn things? So for first few months, we basically, create the soil. We make the soil fertile, and then we sow the seeds of concepts after concepts after concepts. So take it like that. Take it like a journey. So it is not that, you come, you learn, you start making money. That is why I'm very, very, I would say, picky about who I take in TIC. To me, more than anything, culture is important. I have built a culture over last 7 years in the Gurukul, and I do not want people who spoil that culture. What I want to say is that yes, the wrong ones would be filtered out, and it's not just the wrong ones. People who do not connect even on intellectual terms, they would filter out. But those who would stay would be the ones I want. So, you must approach, that's why I'm doing all this so that at least I can do basic filtration at this level itself. Come from a long-term perspective. Come from the perspective that trading is a difficult skill. Trading requires you to change who you are. It's not easy. I will help you. If you take one step, I will take 1,000 steps. Yes. But come to learn. Come to unlearn. Don't come with any ego. Don't come to check me out, I hope you're getting my point. So because, it's been a long time and we are doing okay. So if you want to learn, do not come with the with checking out mentality. Come with the dedicated mentality. Next, that most of you would obviously be having some day job or some business. But if you ask me that, sir, when would I take time out? It's not a live program, right? It's not. We don't trade markets live. It's not a trading room. It's, as I said, it's a conceptual learning, mental model creating, and encompassing everything: trading psychology, personal development, life skills, trading skills, becoming a trader, learning nuances of different types of trading. It's a lot, right? It's a lot. So come from that sort of vision. And what else? But you must be ready to work hard every day. So as I said, it's not a live thing. Whenever you get time, but make sure that you take out at least 1 hour every night. Cut your sleep, because when you decide to learn trading, you are basically saying that you want to do something else, right? You want to create a different source, or you want to learn a skill. Then you have to take out time, because initially it looks easy. First 3-4 months you would feel very easy. In fact, those who have been trading for a while, they would be feeling, oh, why did I even join? I know all this. But after a few months, then you would realize that what hit you. So that's why I'm saying, come with a clean slate. That's my biggest insistence. Come with a clean slate. Come with a little bit feeling of surrender, because that's what makes a teacher and student's relationship fertile. And come with a long-term perspective. This is the idea. So the batch, I think we might start admission process in a couple of days, and all your mails that you have done would be replied to. The mail ID, again I'm saying, is info@welcometotfs.com. Info, INFO, @welcometotfs. 2 is alphabetic. Welcome to TO. welcometotfs.com. Send an inquiry if you haven't sent yet, and a reply would be given to you, which would contain the admission process. Basically, you would be given a brochure which contains all the details, and then you would be given a link, right? So you can do the necessary admission process, join the group via the link and everything. TIC structurally is based on Telegram, and it contains 2. One is a channel, one is a workspace. A channel is a one-way platform wherein I talk and you listen. It's a one-way channel. Wherein, why one way? Because I want to keep things sequential so that nobody can mess up with the sequence. And then after maybe a month or so, we would create a TIC workspace, TIC 8.0 workspace, wherein now it is free flowing. You can ask anything, you can talk among each other, with me, all that, right? So it's, in fact, I'll tell you something. TIC 1.0, let's say, the channel might be having some 50,000 messages, but the workspace would have some messages in millions, because that's how the communication is. So TIC, there are no rules that way, that, we would teach on this day, from this time to this time. No rules. 24/7. I might be teaching for 8 hours continuously, I might not be teaching for 2 days. It's like that, come with that perspective. If you join TIC, think that you are joining a school, you are joining a Gurukul, wherein you don't just want to learn techniques, wherein you want to become the person who can do this business. If you come with that mindset, I think then you would be able to reap the most out of it, just as older TICians have reaped and have been reaping. Yeah, that's that. So admission process would be starting soon. I might be doing few more videos, during the admission window. The window might be open maybe towards the end of this month, June 2026. So entire June we'd be taking admissions, and those who would be getting in TIC, the batch would start from somewhere, let's say from next month. And anyway, let's not get into logistics at this point. The whole idea is that whenever we do that, we'll make necessary adjustments, and obviously we'll tell you, because right now, when you get admitted, you will get into the group, into the channel, but the activity in the channel would begin once the admission window is over, obviously. Right? This is that. Come with the mindset of a student. I have students who have been trading for last 20 years. I have students who are 1.5 times my age. I have students from all walks of life, be it doctors, be it lawyers, be it scientists, be it homemakers. Yeah. I don't take students because I don't think a student must get into all this when it is time to study. So many people, right? So ranging from, I think, 20, 24, 25 years of age. We have a TICian who's 70 years of age, 70, 75. We have students who have worked on the floor. We have students who are brokers. We are students who are, let's say, some investment advisor or research analyst. So the thing is, when you come as a student, no matter what your age is, no matter what your profession is, no matter what your experience is, right? Because when you're joining something, when you are coming in, you are basically saying that I feel that there is some gap which I want to fill. So when you want to fill that gap, you have to come with humility. That is something that I want to say. And again, as I said, hard work. So culture, hard work, humility, surrender, and belief. This is what makes a student profile. So I'll see you guys in TIC, and we'll have fun. Thank you.